Claude Uwihoreye. I am a student at Kepler University program, which operates in Kigali, Rwanda. The goal I am working on is called Contribute to Society, and the project under this goal is called Government and You. As I told you, I'm a student in the Bachelor of Arts program with the College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. In this video presentation, I am going to lead you through the script interview video explaining the three branches of the US government, two-party system, and how a bill becomes a law. This is an interview session that I had with the three gentlemen at a street. I have asked them for questions that are the three branches of the US government, what each branch does, and the third party after Democrats and Republicans. The fourth question was the basic process by which a bill can become a law. With their answers in the text boxes below each question, I am going to record myself in the video and as much as possible present my information visually with images, charts, and graphics. Starting with the first question, the three branches of the US government are legislative, executive, and judicial. The executive branch is composed of president and about 5 million workers. The legislative branch is composed of Senate and House of Representatives, and judicial is composed of Supreme Court and lower courts. The President of the United States administers the executive branch of the government. He enforces the laws that the legislative branch can make. Each branch has got its laws. The legislative branch makes laws under Congress. Executive carries out laws by President, Vice President, and Cabinet. And judicial evaluates laws by Supreme Court and other courts. Speaking of each branch does, we are going to go to this graphic structure which shows that legislative and executive as well as judicial are all under the US Constitution. Legislative makes laws by Senate, House of Representatives, and executive, which carries out laws by the President and Vice President as well as Cabinet. We should keep in mind that Cabinet is nominated by the President and must be approved by the Senate. The Cabinet should be nominated at least by 51 votes. Judicial, which evaluates laws, is composed of Supreme Court and other federal courts. The Supreme Court should be of 9 justices which are nominated by the President and must be approved by the Senate, but with at least 51 votes. How do these branches regulate each other? Each branch of the US government can change acts of the other branches, as I'm going to demonstrate here. The President can veto laws passed by Congress. Congress confirms or rejects the President's appointments, and it can remove the President from office in exceptional circumstances. The justices of the Supreme Court, who can overturn unconstitutional laws, are appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. The US federal government seeks to act in the best interest of its citizens through this system of checks and balances. The graphic representation of the laws of each US government is represented below. The legislative makes laws, approves presidential appointments, 2 senators from each state, and the number of congressmen is based on the population. Speaking of the executive signs laws, pardons people, appoints federal judges, and elects 4 years. The executive is elected every 4 years. Almost at the same term period, the US president lasts in an office. Judicial decides if laws are constitutional. Judicial are appointed by the president. There are 9 justices, and judicial can overturn ruling by other judges. Democrats and Republicans are the major parties, but I'm also going to talk about the other third party. The term third party is used in the United States for any and all political parties in the United States other than one of the two major parties, that are Republican Party and Democratic Party. The term can also refer to independent politicians not affiliated with any party at all, and to write-in candidates. These two-party system started when featuring the Federalist Party and the Democratic Republican Party, also known as the Anti-Federalist Party. The United States Constitution was written in 1787 and unanimously ratified by the states in 1788, taking effect in 1789. The winning supporters of ratification of the Constitution were called the Federalists, and the opponents were called Anti-Federalists. The immediate problem faced by the Federalists was not simply one of acceptance of the Constitution, but the more fundamental concern of legitimacy for the government of the new republic. Modern politics in the United States is a two-party system dominated by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. One of these two parties has won every United States presidential election since 1852 and has controlled the United States Congress since at least 1859. All of this information were extracted from the College for America project resources. The third party can bring impacts, can have impacts on national politics in the United States of America. There are 4 major types of minor parties: enduring party, single-issue party, candidate-centered party, and fusion parties. Third parties also serve as an important role in our political system by forcing major political parties to address new issues they might not have previously addressed very much. And third party candidates can also greatly impact an election by taking away the vote from one of the more major political party candidates, according to boundaries political science that gave out this resource in 2016. Third party candidates rarely win election in American campaigns. Third party candidates can shift national attention to particular issues. Third party candidates can take votes away from major political party candidates. This influences the outcome of elections. Democrats and Republicans are the major parties in the US. These parties are referred to as GOP, or Grand Old Parties, in the United States of America, according to boundaries political science. Democratic Party is the oldest political party in the world. From the College for America project resource, boundaries political science, I have learned that Republican Party supports an American conservative platform with a foundation in economic liberalism, physical conservatism, and social conservatism. Major political parties in the US. A party that has an independent state organization in a majority of the states is listed as a major party. An independent state organization is not to be confused with the organization of an independent Democrat or independent Republican. Below is the table with the details. Political party, such as the Democratic Party, is located or it operates in 50 states plus District of Columbia. It was founded in 1828. It has no formal title. It was born being Democratic Party, and it is still Democratic Party. It has got international affiliations, which is called a Progressive Alliance. Speaking of the Republican Party, it operates in 50 states plus District of Columbia. It was born in 1854. It has got international affiliation, which is International Democratic Union. Getting to the basic process by which a bill becomes a law, I would like to tell you that the bill first is born. Anyone may draft a bill, but only members of Congress introduce the registration, and when they do that, they become the sponsors. The president, a member of the cabinet, or the head of a federal agency proposes registration, although a member of Congress must introduce it. Example from the Culture for America project results shows this lady. On May 13, 2003, Senator Olympia Snow introduced the Genetic Information and Non-Discrimination Act of 2003. The second step is committee action. The bill is referred to a committee. The bill is examined carefully, and its chances for passage are first determined. If the committee does not act on a bill, the bill is effectively dead. Step number 3, subcommittee review. Bills are often referred to a subcommittee for study and hearings. Hearings provide the opportunity to put on the record the views of the executive branch, experts, and public officials and supporters, and opponents of the legislation. Step number 4, markup. The subcommittee needs to mark up the bill. This means that they make changes and amendments prior to recommending the bill to the full committee. If the subcommittee votes not to report the legislation to the full committee, the bill dies. If the committee votes for the bill, it is sent to the floor. This is an example. On July 2, 2003, Senator Gregg presented a dynamic argument for the protection of genetic privacy. The bill number 4 step is a committee action to report a bill. After receiving the subcommittee's report on a bill, the full committee votes on its recommendation to the House or Senate. This procedure is called ordering a bill reported. Step number 6, 40. After the debate and the approval of any amendments, the bill is passed or defeated by the members voting. Step number 7, referral to other chamber. When the House or Senate passes a bill, it is referred to the other chamber, where it usually follows the same route through committee and floor action. This chamber may approve the bill as received, reject it, ignore it, or change it. Step number 8, conference committee action. When the actions of the other chamber change the bill, a conference committee gets together to reconcile the differences between the House and the Senate versions. If the conferees are unable to agree on the same views, the registration dies. If they come to an agreement, a conference report is prepared describing the committee members' recommendations for changes. Both the House and the Senate must approve the conference report. This is an example of how a conference is conducted by a number of senates discussing of what to do, either to approve the bill or not. Final action is after both the House and the Senate have approved the bill in identical form, it is sent to the President. If the President approves it and approves the legislation, he signs it and it becomes law. Or if the President takes no action for 10 days, while Congress is in session, it automatically becomes law. If the President opposes the bill, he can veto it, or if he takes no action after the Congress has adjourned its second session, it is a pocket veto, and the legislation dies. The last step, but not the least, overriding the veto. If the President vetoes a bill, Congress may attempt to override the veto. If both the Senate and the House pass the bill by a 2/3 majority, the President's veto is overruled and the bill becomes a law. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Here is a work study page or references. You can find more details.